What's going on, everybody? I am Jake, aka Bomber, and welcome to the Jobber Radio Prediction League. This is going to be a throwback, if you will, to way back in the day. I'm talking, it was probably the end of 2017, maybe in 2018, where after shows, I would just kind of jump in, do a little video, talk about the show, talk about what all went down, and maybe some stuff to look for in the future. So I think why not bring that back? Obviously, this is kind of the same vein as What Do You Talk was, as Frontline was, those kind of things. I don't know if we're gonna, necessarily bring back those type of shows. Who knows? Maybe Frontline's coming back. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get into it here. Let's talk about AEW's All Out show. Boom. Click on the events. Let's go to the results. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's zoom on in like that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. It's going to be a little bit blurrier because I zoomed in, but you get what it is. Obviously, the main event was CM Punk, Jon Moxley. Main event for our show, JRPL, was Jut 9 and Ward. We're going to work from the bottom of the card, work our way up. I think that's how I did it before. I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're doing here now. So we got a bunch of achievements that were unlocked. You need to go check those out. Mainly a lot of newcomers getting the achievements, but the big achievement that is Relauncher. This is a 10-point achievement that anybody who attended this show got this achievement. It can never be obtained again. So that is a kind of a big thank you for you guys for showing up for this event. And let's talk about that for a quick hot second. This is like a real deal. Just gonna talk to you about this. When I thought of, rebooting the JRPL and coming back from the hiatus, when I was building the website, which took a very long time, a lot of work, which you can see, a lot of details went into bringing everything back and recreating everything from scratch. I'm talking everything from every article to every result page were all redone from scratch, all new graphics, everything, even the little graphics here, all of it. I always had in the back of my mind the entire time, like doubts, the whole, oh man, there was so much work before to, make JRPL successful, make JRPL the best wrestling prediction league on the internet. There was so much work that went into that. What happens if we do this relaunch and I can't get anybody to be a part of it? I had those thoughts the entire time. Every day I worked on the site, those thoughts were going on. Sucked. I convinced myself, you know what, that we're going to get 10 people on the show. I'm going to aim for 10 people. Hopefully it's not just me, my friends, Alaska Brown. Hopefully it's not just me, Kyoko, on the show. Hopefully we can get some people to return because the advertisements haven't kicked in yet. Those start. Big announcement coming here in just a minute, by the way. That's coming up later this month, going on to, future. But I was worried. I assumed 10 people. We had a turnout of 34. We had 34 competitors, which, old JRPL, those aren't numbers. We were hitting 60s, 70s. Some shows we had in the 80s, almost 90s. We were big numbers. We were pumping, we were going. This is the first show back. I was afraid we were going to get like maybe 10. So tripling that number, you guys have no idea how much that meant to me, how much that meant. And the thing is, that's not like a big number. That's chump numbers compared to what we were doing. But you guys did an awesome job. Thank you so much for signing up, being able to handle, the new features, all that kind of stuff. Thank you for all that. That's me. Trust me, as weird as it is that 34 people showed up, it means a lot because a lot of work went into this to make this relaunch take place. Okay. So having said that, that was my thank you to all you guys. Let's get this thing going. Let's talk about the bottom of the card. Very first match, Better Than You. Two rookies here. Better Than You versus DJ Killer Kyle. 103 to 101, absolute killer numbers. This match ended up winning match of the night, which tied for the overall. If you don't know how this works, if you're new to this kind of stuff, in order to get match of the night, you add the numbers up, and it's basically an average of the amount of competitors that are in the match. That's how, it evolved into that. It wasn't that originally when JRPL started, but it turned into that, and that's how it's going to stay. But this actually tied with another match that was super high on the card. It was Broken Arrow and Vitamin Yes, which I believe the average 102. I think that's what it was. The average like 102 points. But flipped the coin, boom. the rookies got match of the night. So that's how that happened. It was actually a tie. So great job to Broken Nerd. Great job to Vitamin Yes. If we want to call him Vitamin Yes anymore, more on that in a minute. So anyway, Better Than You, who's been talking a lot of trash on the Discord, got the big win, and it was close. It was really close, but congrats on the big win right there. So we had the gifted one, Ricky Jones, versus Mark Noble, who I don't know if he wants me to say. He's a former JRPL member. I don't know if he wants me to say who he was before or not, but he's got a new character. We'll just leave it at that. I don't know. I don't want to blow up anybody's spot. So this is a former JRPL member with a whole new character. Unfortunately didn't get to win against a brand new character. This is my one friend, Big Willie Isms. He's appeared on the Jobber Jeopardy episode. He's got his own thing. Check it out. Search Big Willie Isms. He also is a sponsor. He runs the DRWF, though I should say partner, not sponsor. He's a partner with JRPL. The DRWF, he runs a thing there. So anyway, that is him here. The gifted one, Ricky Jones, got the win there. Really good match, 96-88, pretty close. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm gonna look like an idiot. Well, $1 Million Mike, who's a brand new person, lost to. I'm stupid. I'm gonna have to look this up afterwards because I didn't do anything here. How I don't know. I look like an idiot. Halcone. Sorry. This is also a old JRPL member that former world champion, by the way. Old JRPL member that recreated a new account and got a big win here, 94-82. So congrats on that. I will find out how to pronounce that before I do the next episode of this, before the next little recap. So sorry, I got it wrong. CM Carlito came in at the last minute. He wasn't sure. He was on the fence. Of course, I don't think he's the biggest AEW fan. Let's be honest. He's not. I always give him a little bit of crap online. I'm like, oh, hey, you want to come, predict for your favorite company? Going against, oh God, I forgot how to pronounce his name. This is Exo Kev. He kept the same account, just changed his name. Oh God, is it Magus? Is it Magus? Oh my God, I gotta ask Kyoko. They were talking about it. Anyway, CM Carlito got the win over. I'm gonna have to get his name too. Jesus, this is what I'm a freaking jobber right now. I'm a jobber. So let's move on. We got James Davenport. And I don't know if that's supposed to be Sheriff Dog because there's no I in there. Sheriff Dog. James Davenport gets the win over Chappers. Big win over a former big name in the JRPL, Chappers, back in the day. 92-70 monster win there for James Sheriff Dog Davenport. So big win there. Brought the chaos, destruction, and all that good noise. Congrats on your first win in the JRPL. Then we go on to Chapper's old tag team partner who looks a little different. If you're watching this, Mod Step, I don't know the route you're going because it was a weird submission to sign up. Everything seemed to be very trolly. Like the location was, yo mama. And the finisher, I think, is the dick flip and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what kind of angle you're going with here. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, didn't come out on top because Rate Wrestle, who is now improving to 7-1, Rate Wrestle turned into one of the best records easily in the JRPL right now. This is the guy to beat. Okay, Rate Wrestle definitely going to have to earn him spot. He will definitely earn him a spot on the main card in the future. So, congrats on the win there against Modstep, who went through a little bit of a transitioning character. We'll say that. And then starting on the main card, we got me and Kyoko, the new UVC, the ultra-violent couple. No longer the ultra-violent connection. We're the ultra-violent couple. Going against Chaos Inc. We're talking Jack Frost and Reverend D-Zon. Jack Frost is another returning member with a new persona, new character, completely brand new. And bringing in his friend, Reverend D-Zon, got the win. Pretty close. It was a pretty close matchup. Only 6 points separated us. Awesome scores here, 197 to 191. I think the lowest score was, I think Kyoko and Dizon had 88 apiece. I may be wrong on that. I have to go back and look, but like their individual scores, that is. But all four of us did really good on the show. So congrats to all four of us here. Here it is, Tagaby making his return in what, 3 years? 4 years? 3 or 4 years. Going against my man Alaska Brown, who is the big, any question you got, go to Alaska Brown about AEW. And this guy puts up a 71. What are you doing, Brown? What are you doing on an AEW show, All Out, putting up a 71? I can give him some crap because I know he can take it, but Brown let me down, okay? Tagaby, though, big monster number, 97, big return win right here. I hope, Tagaby, obviously you didn't stick with the JRPL very long, and I believe you were an OG, original guy on the JRPL all the way back in 2017. Hope you stick with a little bit longer. If not, totally understand, but thank you for showing up at least on this show, and hopefully we can get some good stuff for you in the future. So hopefully you stick with it. Then we got 3J Platinum, two guys that have had a lot of success at one point. 3J Platinum, an OG member, gets the win against Alpha Dog, who was, I think he was killing it. I think he was on a 4 or 5 match win streak at the end of the JRPL when it went on its hiatus. So I thought he was going to come in and do a lot better than a 71. Unfortunately, only scored Alaska Brown numbers, and that's not good. That is not good. Hopefully you can get a better performance on the next show. It is AEW, so I do understand that it can be a little bit more difficult to predict. I will say that. AEW is a little bit trickier, 100%. But congrats to the OG 3J Platinum. I hate you in every way because of your spelling of your name. I always spell that wrong when I try to type it in any other outside of JRPL. So you bastard, you get me every time. But congrats. So we got Wookie and Cammy Cat. Cammy Cat coming in with a 65. It's okay. Cammy Cat is a moderator now on the Discord channel. Wookie is a OG member. You can't lose with these two. I'm so happy that both of you decided to return to the JRPL. I hope we got a lot of cool stories coming out of both of you, and I think we're gonna get a lot of some street fights out of Cammy Cat. Let's just say that. Let's say we got some street fights planned with Cammy Cat in the future. But Wookie, we'll see what you got coming up. Big win here, 86 to 65. Big win there. And then speaking of big, Ash, biggest score of the night. He won a free t-shirt because we had a giveaway, guys. We had a giveaway. The highest score on the night gets a free shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. Ash got it, already sent it out. It's on its way. So congrats, Ash, on that. Beating Luke Gray, who drew the short straw, coming in to get kind of stomped on because 116. No, you ain't beating 116, no matter how good you did there, Luke Gray. But good performance either way. Obviously, I assume we're going to have plenty of really cool things out of both of you guys in the near future. Then we got the last Money in the Bank winner. We got Orstella taking the win over Cam Popplestone, another OG member. So happy to see people that showed up on the very first show in the JRPL showed back up again. And Cam Popplestone, he's been back and forth the JRPL. Hopefully, great performance here, even though I know he's not, the biggest AEW fan. Still performed very well the 95. These guys freaking killed it. Hopefully, we could get a lot of good stories out of both of these guys. But congrats, Orstella, on getting the W. Next up, we got Woody defeats CJ Hawk in a very close match. 3 points separated this, 95 to 92. So obviously this match was supposed to be, I keep nosing the microphone here. Sorry about that. Obviously this was supposed to be Legit Boss 2K. But Legit Boss 2K didn't show up, so that's perfectly fine. It was the first show. Understandable. I don't even know if Legit Boss wants to do AEW shows. We'll sort it out later. But storyline-wise, before that, there wasn't a whole lot of story that was going on besides maybe Alaska Brown and Tagaby had a little bit of a... Alaska Brown has a podcast that, he invited Tagaby onto. His wrestler has a wrestling podcast that he invited Tagaby onto and, kind of roughed him up in his, studio before the match. So Tagaby came out looking for some, a little bit of revenge and then got his little Percocet on, got the win. But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of story. This is more of like, a more jumping off point until we really do get up to the Woody and CJ Hawk match, which is more up near the top of the card. And basically the story is CJ Hawk came out. If you read the write-up, I mean, if you didn't, you're about to find out. CJ Hawk came out, said, okay, I'm ready for the match. Where's Legit Boss? Legit Boss music hit. She didn't come out. Next thing you know, Woody comes out and says, you know what? Me and Legit Boss, we go way back. Boss Solution, The Solution, former tag team champions. I'll be your stand-in. No big deal. I got this. And basically Woody comes out and he's just being an absolute dick to Hawk. He's being an absolute dick throughout the match. He's getting booed. Everybody hates Woody. It's not going good for Woody, but he's playing it off as this, like, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing this for you guys. I'm standing in. I'm coming in. And like basically he's like feeling like, hey, I'm doing this for you guys. Why are you guys hating on me? That's basically the role that Woody's playing here. And at the very end of the match, after getting the W, after getting the win, which he busted CJ Hawk open, which the fans didn't like, he was just about to leave and go out to the back. All of a sudden, on the little big Jumbotron, screen shows up, and Legit Boss is actually hurt in the back, being attended to. And it looks like maybe Woody had something to do with it because he took off running so he didn't get caught, basically. So obviously there's a little bit going on there. We'll see where we can go from there. I know in the past, Legit Boss and I, we have some fun times with booking matches. So hopefully, my plan is hopefully to get a Woody and Legit Boss 2K match, but I know those two don't quite get along, but I think it would be fitting to have one final match between those two. So obviously none of this was my intention going into it, but that is the great thing about JRPL, and the fun thing when, running these shows is you got to improvise. When people aren't showing up, when things don't go your way, you kind of have to go with the flow. Woody was a quick connection to Legit Boss, and that is kind of how this whole little story came to be. And that is what I like about these little videos, because I get to, kind of give you little inner workings of the brain and how I think this stuff through. So there you go. Next up, we got a monster match here. Spring Tigress going against JJ Rocky, who I hyped it up so much because JJ Rocky was hyped up so much. JJ Rocky was absolute. Everybody on, Frontline, anybody talked about was how JJ Rocky is going to be a future world champion. JJ Rocky is going to be the greatest thing in the JRPL ever, which he beat my ass. So congrats. He absolutely destroyed me in a death match. So good job on that. And unfortunately, the person that I said in the little promo thing was the person standing him away from making his climb back up that mountain to the top to where he was headed before is Spring Tigress, an absolute badass veteran who has won 3 tag team titles. Absolute, monster when it comes to predicting pay-per-views. And she kind of did it here again. 86-62. JJ Rocky obviously didn't really pull his weight all the way, but Spring Tigress gets the big win here. So you better put some respect on Spring Tigress's name, especially when it comes to JJ Rocky, who had all this hype behind him. Hopefully he can easily recover from this. It was an AEW show, so sometimes that does throw things out of whack a little bit. We're going to see if he can rebound, hopefully at Extreme Rules. Now, the last 2 matches on the card, Broken Nerd versus Vitamin Yes. This is another one that brought in a lot of story here because obviously this was just a straight up match, a rematch from 2017, where these guys, I think it was Hell in a Cell, maybe 2018. Either way, it was Hell in a Cell show, I believe, and Vitamin Yes got the win. Now, rematch 2022, all this time later, like 5 years later, which is crazy to think about. Broken Nerd gets the win this time. It was a pretty straight up match, pretty straightforward as far as the match goes. But after the match is where it got a little wonky because out came the COO, Robert Graham of the JRPL, which, by the way, you need to go click on the roster, learn the management and staff, because there's a lot of, kayfabe people that run the company that can be used throughout the, your promos and all those kind of things. So use them. That's kind of what they're there for. And that's basically what happened here. He came out to announce that Broken Nerd is going to be on the poster of Extreme Rules, and congrats Broken Nerd on this big win. And he's the Terminator. He's the guy that was a big movie star. Because if you're new, there was a big story. I'm not going to go all the way into it, but there was a big story in the past about how Broken Nerd was going to be actor in the new Terminator movie, like Terminator 5 or something like that. And blah, blah, blah. Basically, he was a big deal. So he's going to be put on the poster. Vitamin Yes loses his mind, beats up Robert Graham, beats up Broken Nerd, rips the poster up, takes off, completely out of sorts. He's mad about, the JRPL, the management. He said it was, run bad last time. I agree, for a portion of it, it was ran bad, but it started out good. And then, that's just kind of where his story is going. Broken Nerd story, we're going to have to see where it goes, but obviously Vitamin Yes left really mad and really disgruntled about the way the JRPL ended and the way they were ran at one point. So that's where he's at. So going to the main event now, we got the Warden making his first match since All Out 2018. So cool that it came to All Out 2022 all this time later, going against Jut9, who, me personally, I got a big beef with. Oh, I did have a big beef with. Kayfabe, of course. Jut's awesome, but the actual Jut. But always the bad guy, always the guy that turned his back on the UVC and ruined everything. I'm not sour about it or anything, but the Warden, Jut9, to me, this was a monster main event. Looking up and down the card, I was trying to put all these names together. Who is going to be the main event in this? Jut9, proven main eventer. There's other ones in here, of course, Ash and several others, but Jut9, proven main eventer, former world champion, top guy. Warden was a top guy, plus making his return all this time later. It only made sense. This, to me, was the perfect main event for our return relaunch show. Jut9 gets the win. Ironically, 2 of the lower scores on the night compared to everybody else. Almost everybody else on the card would have beat these guys. So, not the best performance-wise on the predictions, but we're all a little rusty, Well, some of you are doing other leagues and stuff like that, but, JRPL-wise, we're all a little rusty. And, it is what it is. Warden takes the loss on that return. But storyline-wise, it wasn't clean because out came Vitamin Yes. Because when he went to the back, he came back out, completely shaved his head, different look, different demeanor, different type of clothes, didn't have his little sparkly robe on, all that kind of stuff that, the Robert Roode or Bobby Roode look is, because he changed his pick base to Eric Young. And the new look, the new him, he basically cost Warden the match. And he, again, threw his grievances out there with the JRPL, the whole company, and he revealed his new name, which, if you see this little article right here, you need to go click that, because it talks about, I'll click it right now. I'm not going to read anything to you, but I'm going to just show you some of the stuff as it loads up. Let's go. Where's he at? So right here, the new face, James Costner. I'm really terrible with names tonight. James, why is the rest of this website not loading up? It should show his old graphic. What's going on here? Anyway, James Costner, formerly known as Vitamin Yes, changed his name, new pick base, Eric Young. Obviously, he's more, he's more out for revenge, I guess. I don't know if revenge is the right word, that he's out for the JRPL, but he's out to, I don't want to say, I guess he kind of has said, like, in the JRPL. He put out a promo right before I kind of did this video that, kind of a weird promo, talking about taking people elsewhere. I don't know. I don't know about that one. It seems weird, but is what it is. We'll see where his story is going to go, because after that, after he ended the show by attacking Warden, there's going to have to be some revenge. So upcoming events, Extreme Rules, WWE, October 8th. The main event is going to be booked. It is booked already. The Warden versus James Costner death match. We're going to see if the Warden can get that revenge, or if James Costner can get one step closer maybe to whatever vision this is of destroying the JRPL. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. I think there's only one other match. There's one other match booked. I text Alaska Brown. I said, yo, do you want to be in a tag match for the next show? Because his friend that he works with, I don't know his name, but his friend that he works with signed up as $1 Million Mike. That is $1 Million Mike. And he said, yeah, dude. He's like, yeah, we'd love to. And he gave me the name $1 Million Minds. So we have a brand new tag team now, even though it's our second show. The $1 Million Minds will be taking on Chaos Inc., who got the win at All Out. So we have our first and second matches booked for Extreme Rules. Usually, probably when I do this, I'll have more matches booked and I'll kind of do a little quick rundown. But the video is already getting pretty long, so that is a look at what happened, what went on in the inner workings of the mind for All Out. And that was, the stories that took place. Again, it was a jumping off point. And I think it was, I am very happy with the show, very happy with how it turned out. Obviously none of our titles are set yet. All titles are still vacant. The first champion, I believe, will be the Road Warrior champion. I made this announcement on a article. I believe it was the New Japan article. Scroll on down here at Rumble on 44th Street, October 28th, the end of October, right near Halloween. This is our first ever New Japan wrestling show, and it will crown our first champion since the relaunch. So obviously it's not on here yet, but the main event, most likely the main event, will be crowning the Road Warrior champion. Road Warrior champion. Sorry, I got a burp there as I said that. I already have it scheduled. I guess I won't say the names because I don't remember. I don't have the spreadsheet in front of me. But there will be two ladder matches. There will be 2 ladder matches at Extreme Rules, one-on-one. 2 people that I believe won at the last show, obviously. Will go one-on-one. And the winner of each of those, they'll pull down a contract that will give them the number 1 contender. Basically, it's number 1 contender match for the Road Warrior title. So there's going to be 2 one-on-one matches. You're going to have to come back, check the upcoming events page, because who knows, by the time this video comes out, it might even be on the website. I don't know. But I don't remember the names off the top of my head, so I don't want to say the wrong ones. But that is what we're looking at for Extreme Rules really early on. Still a long ways out. It's October 8th. It's not even, that's over a month away. So we're still very far out from this show. Just want to point that out and point out some of the stuff that we're looking forward to. So I made the decision. We will not be covering JRPL Bound for Glory this year. I know there's not a lot of pay-per-views for Impact Wrestling anymore. There's usually like 3 or 4 a year, but unfortunately it is the same weekend as Extreme Rules. And right now I want to start things off slow. I'm not going to do 2 shows back on the same weekend. That's not the reason we didn't do Clash at the Castle or whatever. I probably would have done that if it wasn't for, I wanted to start it on All Out, which was where we left off before. But the other reason, which is probably the biggest reason, is Jess and I, or me and Kyoko, are going to be getting married on this week. So I didn't want to, I know you're probably like, dude, you're getting married. Are you going to do a freaking JRPL show? Yeah, the JRPL show is going to be fine, but I didn't want to do 2 shows on top of that. Plus, I wanted to start out slower so we don't have this crazy thing. So that is the main reason why I decided not to do JRPL Bound for Glory. Nothing against Impact. We'll be coming back, doing more Impact. Usually do a show in January. We'll most likely do a show in January. So you don't have to worry about that. It's just because of what I just said. So there you go. So pretty excited about that, by the way. So that's that. That is the end of that. I will say I'm going to leave this video with a pretty big announcement because it hasn't been released on social media. It hasn't been released on the website yet, which, sorry, I had to cover that up for a minute. Don't want anybody to see my login. Don't want anybody coming to make pics on my name. But I will say this. And let me make this smaller. JRPL is going to be sponsoring an independent wrestling show this month. That's right. I've been in talks with several different independent wrestling companies about sponsoring stuff like that. And the first one is going to be this month. It's going to be, I believe, I'll show the graphic. Let me grab the graphic. It's going to be H2O, which is Hardcore Hustle Organization, ran by Matt Tremont, who is a former CZW World Champion. Former CZW, basically, he will be a Hall of Famer at some point. I followed him his entire career. He went and he started his own company. And they've been doing pretty good. They've been getting a good following. Still pretty new for the most part. They got a lot of younger guys that are just breaking into the business. They are also primarily focused on hardcore wrestling. Their show is going to be called Hustle Mania 5. It is September 24th on Saturday. It is going to be on IWTV pay-per-view, Independent Wrestling TV, which is basically you and me watching it live. So first of all, it would be awesome if you guys wanted to check that out. If not, I totally understand. Hardcore wrestling is not everybody's thing, but JRPL is going to be sponsoring this show. We're going to be, we're going to be announced on, the ring announcer is going to have a little plug. They're going to be plugging it on, on the commentary, and we're going to have graphics and whatnot during the show. So I'm hoping this is going to be a fun way to obviously, support independent wrestling, give them a little bit of moolah for their show and everything. And, hopefully we'll bring more eyes on the JRPL. And that is kind of what this is about. Help us, help you. Everybody goes away happy. And first of all, I just love Matt Tremont, his dedication to wrestling. And this is something that I've always wanted to do, was help him out, help, independent wrestling out. It means a lot. So this is the first show that we're going to be sponsoring. Don't have anything locked in for the other shows yet, but I'll tell you, I was talking with Sammy Callahan today. We're going to be sponsoring some Wrestling Revolver shows, which is the company that he runs. I've been in talks with CZW, of course. And I've been in talks with another independent company out, I believe, in Pennsylvania. Was it in Pennsylvania? I don't know. But there's another one, a fourth one that we're in talks with. And obviously this is not going to be, all at the same time, every single month, but just wanted you guys to know that JRPL will be sponsoring these shows, and it will mean a lot if you guys can share stuff on social media. Follow us at JRPL Official. We're going to put stuff up. Please, if you can just do, hit a couple likes, hit a couple retweets, support what we're going to be sponsoring, support, JRPL, support, independent wrestling. That's basically it. We want to support independent wrestling. So that's pretty much it. That is the announcement that I had. I probably should have put this at the beginning, but as I got into it, I had a brain fart and I just kept going. But announcement is that we're going to be sponsoring independent wrestling shows in the future coming up. To say I'm excited is an understatement, but JRPL, we're going to be partnering up with some independent companies. So that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video. If you somehow watch this all the way through the end, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next video. Hopefully we'll get a little breakdown. We'll talk about what's coming up. We'll give a recap on Extreme Rules. If there's anything that happens in between, I'll put a video up and we'll talk about that. So that's it. If you guys want to ask me some questions, I have, we've been gone for a while. If you want to have a discussion about something, let me know. Ask a comment down below. It can be anything. It could be, what are your inner workings? How do you work on this? How do you, what is your mindset of this? Or, it could literally anything. No limits. Any question you want, go ahead and ask. We'll talk about it in the next video. That's it. I'm hit the stop button. Guys, we'll see you on the next video.